Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Alam niyo, napansin ko itong IRCC at talagang nagdo-double time sa campaign nito, alerting or reminding the public about the different kinds of fraud and scams that are happening. No? Bakit kaya nila to ini-enhance ang kanilang kampanya? Well, I think it's because a lot of it is happening right now. Okay. Ngayon, yung isa po sa nakita ko, posted August 1 sa social media account ng IRCC, is a reminder about marriage fraud. Okay. I know, I think I talked about this a while back na, no, several months ago, na dumadami ngayon daw kasi nagpapakasal. And yung iba, syempre, yung sinasabi, marami kasi sa mga nagigipit ang status, nagpapakasal in the hope na spousal sponsorship ang makakasagip sa kanila, ang magbibigay sa kanila ng PR. Of course, I'm sure there are, genuine relationships out there. So, option yan sa inyo. Pero, wag na tayo maglokohan. I'm sure dumami rin ngayon, ang mga naghahanap ng pwedeng, alam nyo na, naghahanap ng tumatanggap ng pera para pakasalan sila, sponsor sila, at maging PR. Okay? And that is also, I think, the reason why tumagal ng husto ang processing ng spousal sponsorship. Usually, mabilis lang po yan. But anyway, thanks to the IRCC post, so click ko yun, kung saan na naman ako napunta, as usual, it reminded me, guys, that marriage fraud is not just about itong lately na nasa isip ko. Ewan ko sa inyo, baka ako lang talaga nakalimot ng isang uri, no? Ang nasa isip ko kasi, usually, syempre, dalawang tao. Babayaran ng isa yung isa, papakasal, ma-sponsor, and that's it. So, pareho silang guilty of the crime. Okay? Pareho silang pwedeng parusahan. Nakawala sa isip ko that marriage fraud can also victimize another person, the citizen or the PR sponsoring. Yan kasi yung nakita kong ang focus ng isang IRCC post. Reminding citizens and PRs na mag-ingat. Dahil baka merong mga taong akala ninyo in love sa inyo, yung pala ginagamit lang kayo. Okay? Pag makuha na nila yung PR nila, hihiwalayan kayo. In that case, walang sala yung nag-sponsor. Okay? Basta patunayan niya na siya ay niloko. Okay? Yun nga lang, ang saklap din pala ng mga ganyang insidente, no? Because there have been cases wherein eto na, nagpakasala sila, nasa Canada na silang pareho, PR na itong si foreigner. Pagdating sa Canada, eto na, umalis na si foreigner, iniwan na itong citizen or PR, heartbroken, syempre, heartbroken. Hindi lang po natatapos dyan ang problema ni citizen o ni PR na na-sponsor. In some cases, kapag yung kanilang partner talaga, maloko, they try to get social assistance from the government. Okay, yan ang financial assistance na binibigay sa mga low-income people. Okay? Ngayon, ang mangyayari po yan, dyan, babayaran nung nag-sponsor ang anumang social assistance na makukuha nung kanyang sponsor na asawa, whether or not sila pa din. Imagine that. So, there have been cases na iniwan na nga sila, so heartbroken na, kumuha pa ng tens of thousands of dollars in social assistance, and now, yung citizen or PR na nag-sponsor, kailangan bayaran yan sa gobyerno. Nakakaawa naman, no? Heartbroken na nga, ubus pa ang pera. Ay. So anyway, meron pong video dyan yung IRCC. I think, let's watch it together. Maganda siya, no? May isa pong interview doon in French, so naka-subtitle. Panoorin nyo na lang ng mabuti, okay? Pero tutuloy-tuloy ko to. Kasi maganda. I think 3 stories yung nandito in this short video clip.
I met my husband in 2002 in the hotel in Cuba that I was visiting for a week. In 2005, we were married. I sponsored him, and he came to Canada in 2006.
Lui et moi, nous nous sommes rencontrés comme ça dans une salle de chat. De fil en aiguille, je me suis beaucoup attachée à lui, lui aussi à moi, c'est ce que je croyais.
We knew each other a little bit. That's why I trusted her.
La demande en mariage est venue très, très vite, comme 3 semaines plus tard. Et j'ai dit oui.
I didn't find anything untoward before he came to Canada.
Sometimes you have a Canadian permanent resident who meets a foreign national, perhaps while they're traveling or over the internet, and becomes convinced it's a genuine relationship, whereas in fact the foreign national is using the relationship merely to get into Canada, and the sponsor has been tricked. In other situations, unfortunately, Canadians are part of the fraud.
After marriage, everything changed. And after she arrived in Canada, I was nothing to her.
When he left on the 24th of March in 2007, it all came crashing down. I felt that he had now accomplished what he set out to do. He had gotten his permanent residency, he had gotten his work card, he had gotten his health card, he was with his friends, and I realized then that this was all false.
After she left me, I filed a police complaint, and police informed me after 3 days, like she's good in health and she's found, but they said she doesn't want to come to you.
The financial obligations of a sponsor are that you are responsible for a period of 3 years for the person that you sponsor to come into the country. So if the person you sponsor uses social assistance during that period, you'll be responsible for that and will have to repay that debt.
Finalement, l'aide sociale, évidemment, j'en paye pour les 10 mois qu'il en a profité. Donc, j'en ai pour un bon 30 000 $.
So,
Okay, grabe no, sa kanya. $30,000 ang binabayaran niya ngayon sa gobyerno. Ang binayaran daw niya sa gobyerno. In a span of 10 months, worth of social assistance. So, $3,000 a month ang kinukuha ng kanyang inasawa.
around $40,000 is too much. It's too much for me. I had to pay my lawyer fee. I sent her ticket. So all my marriage expenses.
J'ai envoyé de l'argent là-bas parce qu'il me disait qu'il en manquait ou qu'il en devait à d'autres.
First of all, I remortgaged my home, then bringing gifts and clothes, not only to his family members, but to his neighbors and anyone he knew.
There are a lot of legal consequences for engaging in marriage fraud. It is fraud. There are the possibility of criminal sanctions, which can include a fine of up to $100,000 or imprisonment of up to 5 years or both.
So, ayun ang saklap naman ang nangyari sa mga yun. Again, heartbroken na, inubos pa ang pera. Ay, nakakaawa naman lalo yung sa lalaki, no? So, sinumbong daw niya sa pulis, natunto ng mga pulis, ang sinabi, ayaw nang umuwi sa'yo. Parang gano'n na lang yun. Okay. Again, a reminder for those who are going to sponsor a spouse. Yun na nga, you sign a document, an agreement with Canada na ikaw ang sasagot sa lahat ng dapat gastusin ng iyong asawa for 3 years. Okay, hindi sila pwedeng kumuha ng social assistance. If they do, they can, but if they do, you will have to pay for it. Okay, so kailangan din maging mapanuri. Ang hirap no? Kapag ang ilang tao in love, talagang hindi rin 100% ang kanilang pag-iisip blinded by their love sometimes. Unfortunately. So kailangan extra ingat. Ang sabi nga nung reminder ng IRCC. Ito Think carefully before marrying someone and sponsoring them to Canada, especially if you've just met. They want to get married quickly. Sabi nung isang case study, yung friends na nagsasalita, nag-propose daw sa kanya after just 3 weeks. And she said yes. Okay. Especially if they've been married or in a common law relationship many times before, or if they haven't shared much information about their background or family. So, ayun ingat din. Pupuntahan ko ngayon guys yung obligations ng isang spouse, ng isang sponsor. Okay, ito po yan. Lahat po to galing sa canada.ca, okay? Your obligations as a sponsor: when you agree to sponsor, you must sign an undertaking promising to give financial support for the basic needs of your spouse or partner and their dependent children. Basic needs include food, clothing, shelter, other needs for everyday living, dental care, eye care, and other health needs that aren't covered by public health services. Ito yan, no? Before signing the undertaking agreement, you must make sure the people you sponsor won't need to ask the government for financial help, because if they do, you'll have to pay back what they received during the time you are legally responsible for them. So, ayun, okay? At ito yan guys, kahit maghiwalay na kayo, okay? Kahit maghiwalay na kayo, sabi dito, the undertaking won't be canceled even if the person you sponsor becomes a Canadian citizen, you become divorced, separated, or your relationship with the sponsored person breaks down, or you or the person you sponsor move to another province or country, or you have other financial problems. So talagang nako, pagkaingatan ninyo kung sino po. Well, dapat naman talaga, no, kung yan ay papakasalan ninyo, it's a given. But I guess, mga panahon talaga ngayon, wherein immigration, ang dami nagkakandara pa, magstay dito sa Canada, mapunta sa Canada. Ayan, this is one thing to be careful about. Okay, mag-ingat. So, yun lang naman. Kung kayo meron po kayong kwentong ganyan, no? O may kakilala kayo, sige, i-anonymous nyo na lang, ano? Put them down there in the comment section. I would love to hear them. So, mga nagtatanong kung anong magiging parusa kung gawin yan, sa totoo, ano nga ba? Teka muna. Consequences. Well, I went to the site explaining kung anong pwedeng sanctions for fraud. It could be, you could be banned from Canada for at least 5 years. So, maging inadmissible ka. Maaari ding i-revoke o tanggalin yung permanent residency status mo. And, ayun, you could be removed from Canada. So, yun. Put any input you might have down there in the comment section. I'll end this episode here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!